You are about to witness one of nature's most incredible survival stories. Right now, in the murky brown waters of the Ganges River, there are dolphins swimming completely blind through one of the most polluted and crowded waterways on Earth. These are not your typical dolphins. These ancient creatures have been navigating these rivers for over 24 million years, and what they do to survive will blow your mind. Meet the Ganges River Dolphin, also known as Susu for the distinctive sound they make when breathing. These mysterious animals live in rivers that flow from the Himalayan foothills through India, Nepal, and Bangladesh, creating homes in waters so murky that light cannot penetrate even a few inches below the surface. And here is where things get wild. These dolphins are essentially blind. Their eyes have no lens. Think about that for a moment. They have tiny pinhole openings where eyes should be, barely visible on their stocky bodies. And those eyes can only detect whether it is light or dark outside. Nothing more, my cigar. But blindness in these chocolate brown waters is not a disability. It is an adaptation. While their cousins in the ocean rely heavily on sight, Ganges River dolphins have evolved to navigate a world without vision. They hunt, mate, raise their young, and avoid danger all without seeing a single thing. Instead, they have developed one of the most sophisticated echolocation systems on the planet. They emit ultrasonic clicks constantly, creating a mental map of their underwater world by listening to how those sounds bounce back. Their elongated snouts, which can reach up to 20% of their total body length, are lined with sharp, pointed teeth that remain visible even when their mouths are closed, perfect tools for snatching prey they cannot see but can hear perfectly. Living in the Ganges River Basin means sharing space with over 400 million people, making this one of the most densely populated regions on Earth. Yet somehow these dolphins persist. They represent not just a biological marvel, but a testament to adaptation in the face of overwhelming odds. Now here is something you probably never expected to learn today. Ganges River dolphins are the only cetaceans on Earth that swim on their sides. Not occasionally, not as a trick. They spend most of their time tilted at a 10-degree angle, with one flipper trailing along the muddy river bottom like a hand feeling its way in the dark. Scientists first discovered this bizarre behavior back in 1968, and it shocked the marine biology world. Imagine a dolphin swimming perpetually sideways, head nodding constantly, scanning the riverbed with echolocation, while its flipper feels for prey hiding in the mud. This side-swimming behavior is not just unusual, it is genius. In shallow waters that can be as little as 30 centimeters deep, swimming upright would be impossible. By tilting sideways, these dolphins can navigate waters so shallow that other cetaceans would be stranded. Their tails stay higher than their heads during this sideways swimming, allowing them to glide through areas most dolphins could never reach. When they need to surface for air, which happens every 30 to 120 seconds, they simply level out and swim laterally before tipping back to their side. But the adaptations do not stop there. Unlike most dolphins, which have fused neck vertebrae, Ganges River dolphins have completely unfused vertebrae in their necks. This gives them the ability to turn their heads up to 90 degrees from side to side, like an owl underwater. Picture a dolphin swimming sideways, trailing one mouth flipper along in the bottom while sweeping its head back and forth, sending out thousands of echolocation clicks every minute. This is not just swimming. This is an underwater sensory ballet. Their flexible necks combined with side swimming create what scientists call a sweeping motion, allowing them to scan large areas of the riverbed efficiently. They are not just looking for food. They are reading the river like a book written in sound. Every rock, every fish, every obstacle sends back a unique acoustic signature. These dolphins can detect prey at distances of up to 20 meters, and some researchers believe they might even use electroreception to sense fish near the riverbed. Think of it as having built-in fish radar. In captivity, these dolphins have been clocked swimming at speeds up to 27 kilometers per hour in the wild, and they do all of this while vocalizing almost constantly. Unlike other dolphins that use whistles to communicate, Ganges River dolphins primarily use clicks, bursts, and twitters. They are considered continuous emitters, meaning the soundtrack of their life is an endless stream of ultrasonic pulses bouncing through brown water. Living in the Ganges River system is like surviving on expert mode for dolphins. These waters are not pristine ocean environments. They are heavily sediment-laden, filled with runoff from the Himalayas, and share space with intense human activity. Every year, 9,000 tons of pesticides and 6 million tons of fertilizers are dumped into or wash into the vicinity of the river. Industrial pollution flows freely into these waters, and the dolphins, as top predators, accumulate these toxins in their bodies through biomagnification. The dolphins favor specific spots along the river. They congregate at river confluences where tributaries meet, at sharp bends that create eddy countercurrents, and around mid-channel islands. These locations are not random. They represent prime fishing territory where nutrients accumulate and prey species gather. Ironically, these are also the exact spots where human fishermen prefer to work, creating inevitable conflict and competition for resources. Ganges River dolphins can tolerate an impressive range of water temperatures, from as cold as 8 degrees Celsius to as warm as 30 degrees Celsius. This adaptability has allowed them to inhabit over 10,000 kilometers of river systems. However, their range has been dramatically reduced. In the 1870s, these dolphins could be found throughout vast stretches of the Ganges, Brahmaputra, Meghna, and associated river systems. Today, they are restricted to fragmented populations, often isolated by the very infrastructure humans have built. These dolphins are not picky eaters by necessity. Their diet includes various species of freshwater fish like catfish and carp, along with shrimp and other invertebrates. Their long, thin snouts are designed for quick snapping actions to capture fast prey. But here is the catch: they cannot chew. Despite having between 6 to 39 teeth on each side of their upper jaw and 26 to 35 on the lower jaw, these teeth are designed for grasping, not grinding. They must swallow their prey whole, often shaking fish in their jaws and manipulating them to swallow head first so the scales do not scrape against their throats going down. Female dolphins are notably larger than males and develop slightly longer snouts upon reaching sexual maturity, a characteristic scientists use to identify adult females. These mothers give birth to single calves after a gestation period of about 9 to 10 months. The chocolate brown babies nurse for about a year before becoming independent, and females typically reproduce once every 2 to 3 years. The dolphins reach sexual maturity around 6 to 10 years of age and can live up to 30 years. The oldest recorded individual was a 28-year-old male, though their lifespan is estimated to potentially reach 30 years in optimal conditions. Here is something that will put their rarity into perspective. There are only about 3,500 to 5,000 Ganges River dolphins left in the entire world. Meanwhile, over 400 million people live in the Ganges River basin. That means for every single dolphin, there are approximately 80,000 to 100,000 humans sharing the same waterway. These are not good odds. The Ganges River Dolphin is considered a living fossil, one of the oldest dolphin species still in existence today. They split from their closest relative, the Indus River Dolphin, roughly 550,000 years ago during the Pleistocene epoch. They have survived ice ages, dramatic climate shifts, and millennia of natural changes. But the last few decades have pushed them to the brink. In the early 1980s, there were an estimated 4,000 to 5,000 individuals. Today, that number has either remained stagnant or declined, depending on which population you examine. The biggest threat facing these dolphins is not a single problem, but a cascade of human impacts. Over 50 dams and barrages have been constructed along the Ganges and its tributaries, fragmenting dolphin populations into isolated groups. Imagine a highway suddenly being blocked by walls every few miles. These dams prevent dolphins from accessing traditional migration routes they have used for millions of years. During monsoon season, dolphins historically would move upstream into smaller tributaries when water levels rose, then return to main river channels during the dry winter months. Now, many populations are permanently trapped in small river sections, unable to access seasonal habitats. This isolation creates a genetic nightmare. Small, separated populations become vulnerable to inbreeding, reducing genetic diversity and making them more susceptible to disease and environmental changes. Dolphins trapped above dams face poaching pressure, especially during dry summer months when water levels drop and they become easier to target. Those below dams contend with heavy pollution, increased fishing activity, and vessel traffic. Entanglement in fishing nets remains one of the most immediate threats. These dolphins cannot see the nets, and while their echolocation is sophisticated, the thin monofilament lines of modern fishing gear are difficult to detect until it is too late. Each year, individuals are accidentally caught and drown, unable to surface for air. In some regions, dolphins are still deliberately hunted despite legal protections. Their oil and meat are used in traditional medicine, as aphrodisiacs, and as bait to attract catfish. While such hunting has decreased, it has not been eliminated entirely. Despite these overwhelming challenges, the Ganges River Dolphin has become a symbol of conservation in South Asia. In 2009, the government of India declared this species the national aquatic animal, elevating its status and bringing national attention to its plight. The dolphin earned the nickname Tiger of the Ganges for the crucial role it plays as a top predator in the river ecosystem, much like tigers do in forest ecosystems. The reason conservationists care so deeply about this dolphin goes beyond its charismatic nature. Ganges River dolphins are indicator species, meaning their presence signals a healthy river ecosystem. When dolphin populations are stable, it indicates clean water, abundant prey species like fish and crustaceans, and functioning ecological processes. When dolphins disappear from a river stretch, it serves as a warning that something has gone seriously wrong with the entire ecosystem. Several protected areas have been established specifically for these dolphins. The Vikramshila Gangetic Dolphin Sanctuary in Bihar, India, stretches along a section of the Ganges River between Sultanganj and Kalgan. This was the first protected area created specifically for the species. Additional conservation efforts include community awareness programs, working with local fishermen to reduce bycatch, and monitoring populations through acoustic surveys that use the dolphin's own echolocation clicks to estimate numbers. Recent surveys have provided some cautiously optimistic data. In certain stretches of the main Ganges River, encounter rates have remained relatively stable, with approximately 1,340 dolphins documented between the Uttar Pradesh and Bihar border and the Farakka Barrage as of 2018. This 625-kilometer stretch represents one of the species' strongholds. The Brahmaputra River in Bangladesh also supports significant numbers. However, dolphins have disappeared entirely from some areas they historically inhabited, including parts of the Sundarbans Delta. Conservationists face an uphill battle. Restoring connectivity between fragmented populations would require significant modifications to existing dams or the creation of fish passages that dolphins could also navigate. Reducing pollution levels demands systemic changes in industrial practices, agricultural methods, and waste management across one of the world's most populated regions. Preventing bycatch requires constant education and the development of dolphin-safe fishing practices in communities where fishing represents the primary livelihood.